Hey, Truth Seekers. 143rd post here. Just want to talk about what I've seen in this curious NFL football matchup this morning between the Niners and Saints, and then here at halftime, what they've just done on the replay. The 49ers scored the first touchdown of the game, and it was a Frank Gore rushing touchdown. Frank Gore wears the number 21, a number of significance because the Super Bowl will be February 1st. As soon as he scored, the announcer had this incredible stat just rearing to go. And now that I think about it, they say these kind of stats a lot, and before I never gave it as much thought as I do now. But today I just thought about it. I thought, wow, how did he know that so fast? Sure, maybe somebody back in the studio who's keeping all sorts of stats shoots him one real quick to say, but even then, why would they say it? So I want to explain the significance of this. As soon as Frank Gore scored, the announcer said, "First 49ers rushing touchdown in 337 minutes. And I thought, wow, 337 minutes? Where'd he pull that number out of? So using this gematrix.org, I'll link it down in the comments, I just typed in the number 337. And what was the first thing to come up? In Jewish gematria, the phrase hell on earth sums to 337. And why is this curious? Well, it's in part because the 49ers are playing, and they're also playing in New Orleans, where they lost in Super Bowl 47. In numerology terms, that was a very significant Super Bowl. The 49ers went into it 5-0, a perfect record in Super Bowls. In numerology, the number 6 represents the flaws of man. After that Super Bowl, their new record was 5-1. It was now an imperfect record with a loss, 5-1 in the 6th Super Bowl, which was Super Bowl 47, the first Super Bowl ever played between two brothers, Jim and John Harbaugh. In gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, the name Harbaugh sums to 39, a very important number in our nation's history and especially numerology. There were 39 signers on the Declaration of Independence. In the Bible, there are 39 books in the Old Testament, 66 books in total. The NFL was established in 66, the same year the Church of Satan was established in San Francisco, where the 49ers are from. Revelation is the final book of the 66 books. Revelation sums to 49 in gematria. We're coming up on Super Bowl 49. We're talking about the 49ers. In Super Bowl 47, a number often paired with 33 in gematria, there was a 33-minute blackout. Look it up. Every website out there says it's 33 minutes. From every mainstream publication to Bleacher Report to everything else. Go look it up. 33-minute blackout. Some websites even say 33 minutes, 33 seconds. Who was counting that? Certainly not me at the time. And even had I read that headline at the time, it wouldn't have made any sense to me then. I had noticed something weird about 33 in the world at that point, but I wasn't making connections like this, and never in my life would I have guessed that they were intentionally doing 33-minute blackouts. But even leading up to that Super Bowl, you guys, I was paying attention to the 49ers. Earlier that season, they had a blackout in their home stadium, Candlestick, and in the season prior on Monday Night Football, they also had a blackout. So 2 blackout games before having the third blackout for 33 minutes in the Super Bowl. Now today they returned back to New Orleans. They scored the touchdown, and then the stat. First rushing touchdown in 337 minutes. 337 equals hell on earth. If you've read the Bible, you know about Revelation. It's about the end times. You could see that as hell on earth. It's the one place in the Bible the passage is mentioned. The man who sees what's coming will calculate 666. It's where that number comes from. Think about the NFL being established in 66. The Bible being of 66 books. Let's check this out though. So I wasn't going to make a video post about this, but then during the halftime they did this highlight, and you guys just got to see this. This is crazy. Hold on one second. Let me turn it up here. I got to turn it way up. I was working on a blog post, and then I noticed the TV was glitching out to the voice of Terry Bradshaw. If you don't know who Terry Bradshaw is, former quarterback for the Steelers. Now he's the type of person who goes on TV and shouts down people like me. Because I've been paying attention for over a decade, you guys, and I've heard once upon a time a former Steeler brought up the thought that 9/11 looked like an inside job, and Terry Bradshaw just had a lot to say about that for people who question 9/11. So, he's one of those voices maintaining the mainstream. The word mainstream equals 113, you guys. Did you know that? Anyhow, let's check this out. Just watch this. This is so trippy. And I'm going to hold my hands up here so you guys can see I'm not doing anything glitchy. This is how the real halftime newscast was of this highlight. What I want you to pay attention to is that it's number 88, and they're emphasizing 68 on a 68-yard touchdown pass. Cowboys and Jaguars, they're a whole nother topic. But check this out. These are the two numbers that are super, super important in Ebola next to 33. And just watch this. I'm going to keep my hands up here.
London. Dallas Cowboys, Tony Romo coming back after missing last week's game against Arizona with a fractured bone. For his first process, yeah, they call it officially. Okay, good. Rolling right, finding Jason Witten on the 2-yard touchdown. 10-7, Romo awfully impressive with 3 touchdowns. Witten on the 2-yard touchdown. 10-7, Romo awfully impressive with 3 touchdown passes. Touchdown. 10-7, Romo awfully impressive with 3 touchdown passes. Touchdown. 10 touchdown, a 35-yarder. 17-7 Dallas. Now back. And Romo throw deep. Setting up. Cutting down the right-hand side. Gorgeous pass to Dez Bryant. Pulls it in. Once again, after the catch, takes it in with all that strength and speed. 68-yard touchdown reception. 24-7 Cowboys. Strength and speed. 68-yard touchdown reception. 24-7 Cowboys on top. 68-yard touchdown reception. 24-7 Cowboys on top. 75th career touchdown. Congratulations, Stephen. 7-3 Atlanta. Then Josh McCown.
And then did you see that? Right to the next cut, the number 39. It's just, why did they just show, why was it that way? It was like they were really trying to emphasize those numbers. Some people might think that's just a glitch, but I'm telling you guys, they really wanted you to hear that 68 and 88, because these people are numerologists, and they're coding this in front of us all the time, and these numbers are very, very important to them. So what just slipped past most of our minds, I'm guaranteeing you that has a very significant meaning. Even in doing this research, part of the reason I started this research is I wanted to figure out how my fellow American is so programmed. It's just so obvious, being someone who's a truth seeker, because when you speak to most people, they automatically retort with the same things. Well, why don't you move out of the country then? Oh, tinfoil hat. Oh, you probably think nobody landed on the moon. Are you one of those conspiracy theorists? I've lived in different places. I've talked to all sorts of age groups. It's just amazing how so many people just automatically go to those programmed responses. And it's obvious it comes from television and sitcoms, but how does it just sink into some people so deep? While some of us, we just shake it right off. We can see that it's just garbage. And I think there's something deeper and darker than any of us know, almost like a magical spell in a Disney movie. And I wonder if it's even done in things like that. I wonder if just like certain people's viewing eyes just getting hit with those numbers, I wonder if it honestly does something inside them. I wonder if it turns them into the programmed robots that they've become to be. And it might sound like lunacy to you guys, but you start paying attention and you start really thinking about what's going on in this world, you got to wonder. Almost everyone in our society is addicted to new. From materialism to relationships to music to what they got going in their life. It's not a healthy symptom in our society, but it's very real. And then you think about the television screen. They put the number 555 on there. Well, in this gematria, the letters N, E, and W all become 5 because N is the 14th letter, so 1 plus 4 is 5. E is the 5th letter. W is the 23rd. 2 plus 3 is 5. This is a practice that goes back thousands of years. I didn't invent this. Old world principles coded into our own language. Anyway, the word new is 555. The Washington Monument, this old obelisk, is 555 feet tall. The oldest remaining rune in Egypt is an obelisk. So this obelisk thing, you guys, it's as deep as this gematria and these numbers things and these symbols. They've been with us forever. And just wanted to share this with you. Show you that maybe it's more than meets the eye when you're watching football on Sunday. They know that they don't have some people in church, so they have to get their message to them this way. And really, church and football, they both got ill intentions. Hey, Truth Seekers, encore. Right after I turned off the video, I watched some more highlights. And if you haven't seen my video post from September 22nd, that was the day after the Week 3 games, I looked at the numerology of what happened that day and with what I predicted the day before, and I was able to determine that the Super Bowl will be between the Indianapolis Colts and the Detroit Lions. I'm very certain about the Colts. I'm pretty sure about the Lions. Let's check out this highlight. Let's watch the Calvin Johnson 49-yard touchdown reception.
22-yard touchdown. It's 13-10 Atlanta on top of Tampa Bay. Calvin Johnson, the great wide receiver for the Lions, as they host the Dolphins back in action. Set up, Matthew Stafford rolling right. Not a bigger arm in the NFL than Matthew Stafford.
Can you see it, Truth Seeker? I want to make sure you can see it. Super Bowl 49 coming up. I'm telling you guys, they script these plays. They even script the pick sixes. The whole thing's scripted. Well, maybe not all of it, but they script a lot. Most sports fans can see how on it the refs are and where that part of the game looks rigged to them, but they don't think the players could be in on it. I'll tell you what. I think they are. I think that's why they get paid so much. I have a bunch of video posts on this. You guys should check out the other ones. Oh, also, I meant to make the point. In the original clip with the Dallas Cowboys, think about how I was telling you 68 and 88 are tied to Ebola. Also think about Dallas and how it's tied to the Ebola story, right? It should be noted that in 1998, X-Files did a episode on a viral outbreak starting in Dallas that wipes out a large percentage of the population, or threatens to at least. The virus has a name that sums to the exact same thing as Ebola in Gematria. Same numbers, different name. Starting in Dallas. The year prior to that, 1997, 17 years earlier, which is what Ebola sums to with the reduced method, 17 years, number 17. A book was published. I believe it's called Absolute Zero. It's making its ways in the conspiracy realm right now. And it too, the viral outbreak starts in Dallas. Again, this clip on 11/9, another day associated with tragedy and bad numbers, they just showed us this really weird clip of the Dallas Cowboys where it kept emphasizing these numbers, 68, 88, and then when it was doing that 10-7, 10-7, 10-7 over and over, you add 10 and 7, that's 17. So these are the Ebola numbers in a Dallas highlight in an NFL game. Something that most people probably think I'm insane for connecting. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is in this research, that's how I've come to understand this web. And with regards to webs, it was Chief Seattle, a name that sums to 113, who gave his most famous speech on March 11th, 311, the reversal 113, that you now find on t-shirts, posters, the speech about all things being connected in life. Well, you guys, the reason things like this are connected is because it's manipulated that hard and from the same source that's doing all the other manipulating. Why are they manipulating football? Well, think about it. This is the biggest distraction in the entire country right now. If you're asking why I'm watching it, I'm not really watching it. I'm working on other things I got to go on in the background, but I'm also doing it so I can expose this kind of stuff and help you see how it's all connected. For those of you who think I'm loony right now, you're not going to think I'm loony when you realize my Super Bowl pick was right from week 3 of the NFL season. That shouldn't be possible unless the games are rigged. Last year, the Seahawks became the first team to win on the 33rd day of the year, February 2nd. They're also the only team in the league with a gematria, a name that sums to 33. The only one. Once upon a time, there were the Oilers, who also summed to 33. And for those who are Seahawk fans, they're probably already thinking about Warren Moon, because he calls the Seahawk games. It's deeper than you know, people. Until next time. Double encore. One last point. Going back to the 49ers in New Orleans. Of course, they were struck with Hurricane Katrina in 2005, 9 years ago. Katrina in Gematria sums to 74, just like the word Jesus, just like the word cross, just like Muhammad. On the flip, Christian sums to 47. In the Quran, it's book 47 that speaks of Muhammad. The official spelling for Jesus, Yeshua, also sums to 74. Jewish sums to 74. Messiah sums to 74. English sums to 74. Only one state has a gematria that sums to 74. That state is the 33rd state in order of statehood, Oregon, abbreviated OR, 15 plus 18. The abbreviation's 33. The only state that sums to 47 is Ohio, the 17th state, that number 17. Do this right now. Go to Google, use Google, and type in Oregon, Ohio. You're going to get a town in Ohio. It's going to show you their image stats. They're in Lucas County. LUC are the three letters that reduce to 3, so they're in 333 County. Look at the image for Oregon, Ohio. It is a giant fireball. Why are they showing that for the picture of that town? It's really strange, and what I'm telling you, truth seekers, is it's foreshadowing. Back on that point of sports, on 11-4 earlier this week, LeBron James lost to Portland Trailblazers in Oregon. That's Ohio versus Oregon, 47 versus 74. They played on 11-4. The name LeBron James sums to 114 in gematria. On this same day was Election Day. The 114th Congress was decided, 11-4, 114th Congress. John Boehner is the leader. The name John Boehner sums to 114. Cleveland lost to the Blazers with a score of 82 points. 82 points. On Thursday Night Football, Cleveland played Cincinnati for the 82nd time in their two histories. The 82nd time. In the same week, Cleveland loses to 82. The point is that Seattle sums to 82 in gematria, and the word Armageddon sums to 82. Only two cities in the whole nation have a gematria of 321, 321, like a countdown in Jewish gematria. Those cities are Manhattan and Seattle. Interesting, right? Washington is bordered by Oregon. Could there be chaos coming to the Northwest, and could all this be foreshadowed through these sports events, from the World Series to the NFL? If you've already seen my post on the World Series, you can just cut it off here. For those of you who haven't, let me tell you something. The World Series finished on 10/29/14, October 29th, 14. October is the only month with 33 gematria. Baseball is centered around the diamond. The word diamond sums to 33. The numerology for the date 10/29/14 is 10 plus 29 plus 14. It sums to 53. On that day, the Giants became the winners of 3 of the last 5 World Series. Bruce Bochy has been the coach. The gematria of Bochy sums to 53. John Boehner, also from Ohio like LeBron, 33 days before the election, said that for 53 years we've been spending more than we've been making in terms of tax revenue as a nation, and that's too much. Emphasis on 53. There are now 53 senators, Republican senators, in the Senate since the election. These numbers have been a major focus, and I was already tuned into 53 before Bochy won and the Giants on the date with the numerology of 53, because earlier in that day, it was announced that Paul Kitterman, a 53-year-old fan, was found missing 110 miles from the Denver Broncos game he disappeared at on a Thursday night. Paul Kitterman sums to 53, just like his age, 53, and then we're thinking of football with a 53-man roster. Last year in Colorado, the governor renamed 53 mountains after the team that lost in the Super Bowl to the Seahawks. So you guys, again, if you're still with this, I really want you to see how these numbers are truly linking up through sports, through politics, through world events. It's really a web, you guys. This is real. I know it's a lot to wrap your head around. It might seem like a lot to comprehend, but if you start watching my video posts, if you go back and read my written blog where I've been documenting a lot for more than a year straight, this information becomes undeniable, and you see that somehow, some way, this system of numbers is really being implemented. That's the message.